It was because I was doing that research for that.
You had the whole weekend.
Yes, we did. I was late. You know those 4 weather things that we had to research?
I forgot to do that too.
I did my homework this week.
All right, Clyde, please, let's get started here.
She didn't do it.
I'm missing a couple people there.
I didn't do the homework.
Missing Grace. We're all missing Grace. We're missing Fisher.
Nathan's here.
Madison and
Fisher.
I'm not here. I think Madison's
Yeah.
here.
I forgot to do my homework.
as long as it gets turned on the day to, yes. But
No.
if you forget to, then 0. Right? So don't do that.
Why you take my ass?
All right, Clyde, please. Clyde, please. Madison, sit.
Madison isn't even up there.
Sit. All right. All right, we need to get going here. Any questions on the homework before we grade it? Page 381.
It's fine.
All right, here we go. Check your work. 2 through 26 evens. Number 2, 256. Number 4, 0 times any number is
0.
Number 6 is negative 160. Number 8 is negative 2,340. Number 10, negative 1,344. 6, 7. I have 7 people in here right now that do not have homework. Hey, if this does not change, we will start doing homework detention. Like, there's no making it up during student advisement or anything like that. It's homework detention. For every missing homework, you get 1 detention, where you will do not only your homework, but you will do a worksheet on, I don't know, let's say long division or fractions or something, right? Hey, we cannot have this as a, I mean, when there's always 1 or 2 people every homework assignment, but not 7 people. Nathan, where's your homework? We need to be doing our homework. Right? Your job as a student is to do your homework. Okay? That is what you're getting paid to do. That is what you're expected to do. The payment comes in the form of a job when you graduate school, right? But that's when you get paid for all the homework that you did in school, right? If that's not reward enough for you, then that's what keeps you alive when you turn 18. It's the fact that you did your homework, and so someone will give you a job. Nobody has to give you a job. They give jobs to people who are responsible and who do their work. If you're an employee who doesn't do their work, doesn't do what the boss says, you become unemployed very quickly. Your job right now is to study and do your work. That's your parents' expectations for you. Those are your teachers' expectations for you. Those should be your expectations for yourself. We have kids right now, sophomores. You'll be a sophomore in basically 3 years from now. We have kids right now that are going through the whole process of, what am I going to do in a year and a half when I have to make real, honest to God, life-changing decisions of where am I going to school or what am I going to do with my life when school is over? They're a year and a half from it from being over. Okay, you guys are a few more years, but not too long. The decisions that you make today, the patterns, the habits you set up today, carry on. It's not like all of a sudden in high school, like, yep, I waited to get to high school to actually get started on my studies. If you haven't got started on your studies already, set up those habits, high school is going to be very challenging. What did I leave off on?
Number 12.
Number 12 is negative 960. Number 14 is 400. Number 16, you will see on a test. You're hearing it from me. The next test you take, I will put 8 numbers multiplied together. Some will be positive, some will be negative. The last number will be, and some of you will go through that and you'll multiply 7 numbers together, and then you'll realize that the answer is
0.
All right. Number 18 is 1,120. Number 20 is negative 1,584. I gave you 2 or 3 of the problems where it combines addition, subtraction, multiplication. Number 22 is 54. Number 24 is negative 90. And number 26 is negative 2. All right, Antonio's coming around to grab your homework. Carson is handing out you. Connor. You are copying down your homework. Oh, have you already been told about the changes for CMAS?
No.
All right. Here are the, well, I sure hope they're the final changes. Here are the final changes, I think, for CMAS. You are 7th graders. You will not be taking the math test. You will only be taking the language arts test. They have pushed it off 1 week. It was originally next week was when you were taking CMAS. You were to take both math and language arts. Now it's been pushed 1 week, and you will only be taking language arts unless your parents want you to take the math test as well too, which is an option. Your parents want to, they can make you take both the language arts and the math test. All right. It will be 3 days. The last 3 days, we will go right back to normal classes unless you were absent or something, and then there'll be some makeup days. But the rest of us will be moving forward with the curriculum. It has minimal impact for you guys because it's only 3 days. By the way, it's 1 test a day. It is a full day of class. The test isn't like 12 hours long or something like that. You will take your test and then you will continue on. We will publish the schedule here in a little bit. Hey, could you close that and put that away, please? Which question?
Is this school 7 hours, not 12 hours?
Well, let's see. You have to show up here at what time?
7:30.
7:30-ish, right? And school goes to 3:30. So 3:30 is 15:30. From 7:30 to 15:30. 7 goes to 15 8 more times, so it's 8 hours.
8 hours. Well, that's still not 12 hours. So you
What?
You said the test is going to be 12 hours for something.
8th graders should be taking a 12-hour test,
What?
right?
You have to take the test no
No,
longer than
to
1 week.
finish the test takes about 12 hours.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like the single day.
Oh, 4 hours, 4 hours per test,
8? No, it's not 4 hours per test, but
4 hours per section.
when you become 8th graders next year, unfortunately, hopefully COVID's all over. 8th grade is the worst of the worst. They have the most tests. They have a language arts, a math. This year they're only taking their math part, but on a normal year they take language arts, math, and science. They have a whole week of testing. A whole week of testing. That'll be you guys next year.
Didn't we have a science for?
Social studies
No,
every
didn't we
couple
have
of years.
science back in 5th grade?
You did, right? And then you'll see it again senior year or junior year. I forget what. All right. Yeah.
Is that true in different schools?
Every school in Colorado, as long as it's a public school. It's private school, they get to do what they want, but if it's a public school, yeah, it's the same thing for Colorado.
I'm packing my bags.
When you get to be in high school, you go from a 12-hour test to a 3-hour test. Go figure.
Lucky.
And you only come in for half a day and you go home for the rest.
Let's go.
All right, copy down your homework, but you're not in high school yet. Highly, copy down your homework. Same number of numbers from the previous homework, 2 to 24 evens, different page. We did 3 days of adding. We did 2 days of subtraction. We did 1 day of adding and subtraction. We did 2 days of multiplication. We will only be doing 1 day of division in today's class. 1 day of division.
Is it simple?
It is very simple.
Let's go.
It doesn't look.
Is it like multiplication?
Copy dot flip.
No, that's for fractions.
Looks simple.
You could do a copy dot flip, but nobody does. All right, here we go. Quiet, please. Quotient is a $10 word. It simply means
Division.
division. So we will be dividing Positive, negative numbers, those are called integers. Now, you gotta be careful with that. Integers are the whole numbers that are opposite from 0. But for you guys, you're probably just thinking positive and negative numbers. No decimals, no fractions. Okay, great news is that the rule doesn't change between multiplication and division. So let's write it down one more time. Box 1. One more time. You will either have same signs or different signs. When the signs are the same, that means that both numbers are positive, they will be dividing, or both numbers are negative. If both numbers are positive and you're dividing, it will look something like this. 8, division symbol 2. Okay? If both numbers are negative, it's going to look like this. -8 divided by -2. Seventh grade is the last year that you will see the division symbol. 8th grade, you never see the division symbol. They don't use it. They only use the fraction bar. Okay? By the time you get to 9th grade, your fractions will be the thing of nightmares. I've lost my pen. The fractions in high school are nightmarish, right? Because it's not just numbers, it's numbers and variables. For instance, in high school right now, we are doing this division, x squared minus 6x minus 8. Okay, all over x minus 1, and they're asked to add, subtract, and multiply and divide with that fraction. Okay? Okay. So you have one more year of nice, friendly fractions, and then it becomes nightmare mode. Okay. All right, not about this stuff.
I don't question about this stuff.
Do you need fractions in life? Anytime that, absolutely, if you use or if your job requires that specific math, well, then you won't ever use it. Do you want the speech?
Yeah.
We are Americans. In the American system of education, the teacher, your parents don't make the decisions for you. You make the decision. Listen to the whole speech. In other countries, parents and teachers make the decision for you of what you will do in life. For instance, in Germany, pretty good country. If you've ever visited or lived there, you think it's a great society and everything. When it comes to education, in the end of the 5th grade, they take a test. And the test determines which track you go on. I'm going to college. I'm not going to college. If they put you in this track, listen and let me talk. If they put you in this track, not going to college, you don't learn that. You learn things that people who don't use math or low-level math, what they use in their life. Guess who made that decision? That was a teacher. I recommend this person for the non-college track. Or your parents, my kid isn't smart enough to go to college. You're going this way. You don't make that decision. Someone does that for you. In the American system, right, I argue it's the better of the two systems. In the American system, we teach every single kid that walks into the school the same stuff. Whether you're going to be a doctor, whether you're going to be an engineer, whether you're going to be a carpenter, whether you're going to be a football player, it doesn't matter. Any of those jobs in between, even if you literally are going to be homeless, we teach every single person the same stuff. And that allows you, when you turn 18, when you graduate high school, to make that decision. Because guess what? If you're in Germany and you're in the non-college track, by the end of high school, you can't mess with this fraction because you don't know what to do with it. Okay? Oops, sorry. You don't know what to do with it. This is required to have jobs that do things with ugly fractions like that. There's lots of them out there. I don't mean one, I don't mean two, I mean lots of them. Lots of people every day walk into work and do stuff with a fraction like that. Okay? Well, that can't start in college. You can't start learning this math in college. You got to start in 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, and all the math has to culminate into you able to. My 9th graders right now, they're having no problems with this. They can deal with it. Okay? But we're going to let you at 18 make the decision of, nope, I never want to do anything with that math ever again, or, well, I kind of do want to do something with it. I find that a better system simply because every single person gets the freedom to say, I hate math, I don't want to mess with it ever again. Okay, what's the downfall? Well, the downfall is, yes, in high school, you're going to be messing around with math that you might not like. You may say it has no meaning to my life or whatever, but what it does give you is opportunities, and that opportunities is to pursue whatever it is you want to do in life. If you graduate from an American high school, you can be a doctor, you can be anything you want, right? Or you can, I should say, you can pursue that, right? Doesn't guarantee you'll be a doctor, a lawyer,
Can I
or
be a centaur?
carpenter. All right.
I have a question though about this.
All right, we're back up here. Write this down, please. When you divide signs that are the same, the answer will be, just like in multiplication,
Positive.
the answer will be positive. Write that down. That means whenever 8 divided by 2 must be positive 4. Negative 8 divided by negative 2 must be 4. The signs are the same. It's always positive. Is that the same rule for addition, subtraction? No, it is different. You add 2 negatives, the answer is negative. When you multiply or divide 2 negatives, the answer is positive. Different rules. Second half of that rule is, well, the signs are different. That means a positive divided by a negative, or a negative divided by a positive. For instance, 8 divided by negative 2, or negative 8 divided by positive 2. You learn in multiplication when the signs are different, the answer is negative.
That's really it.
Yep.
So it's the same thing as multiplication, just you're doing division instead.
You got it.
That's super easy.
All right. And if you remember when I was teaching this and we were doing the adding and subtracting, I said we will get to multiplication and division and no one will have a problem with it. And it's true because the rules are easier to remember too. By the way, both of these will be negative 4.
Are we able to test out just this
We're going to throw in some graphing as well too. But to answer your question, half of the test will be on abstract multiply and divide. Half the test will be on graphing. Graphing thing is pretty simple.
Is it fun?
I like it because it's got a little bit of geometry to it. So I like it far more than just doing mundane calculations. Absolutely. All right. Does everybody have this copied down? Basically, what you need is same sign. The answer is positive. Different signs. The answer is
Or you
negative.
could just put same thing as multiplication.
Or same thing as multiplication. Okay. Same and different signs.
Different.
Therefore, it says different sign. The answer is.
Negative.
So what's the answer to the first one there?
Please don't.
Hey, as you move into 8th grade, as I said at the start of the class, they will not use the division symbol any longer. They will only use a fraction bar. 7th grade's a transition period. We move from using division symbol to fraction bar. You're not going to see this next year or 9th grade or 10th grade, ever. They simply use a fraction bar. Okay? And it's because the fractions get really ugly. Right? And without using the fraction bar, we would have to use a lot of parentheses. That's kind of the real reason. There's nothing wrong with this symbol, by the way. It's just our fractions get so complicated from 8th grade up that it's much easier to write with a fraction bar. And the fraction bar will not be diagonal, it will always be horizontal.
I feel superior to
All right,
my
same or different signs?
brother.
So same sign, the answer is?
Positive.
So the answer is 2. Questions? Same rule as multiplication. Maddie, same or different signs? Says the answer for same will be 24 divided by 8 is, and count by 8s with your fingers. Count by 8s. Count by 2s. Count by 2s. Now I want you to count by 8s.
860.
Okay. You gotta have this memorized, or multiplication table always in front of your face. Okay? Always have a multiplication table in front of your face.
Or a calculator.
No. Calculate. Well, you're never going to memorize it if you just have a calculator. You shouldn't be in 7th grade, right? It has happened occasionally, but I'm saying one of the reasons why the problem continues is because no one ever forces you. Somebody say, "Hey, here, take this calculator." Okay, I'm tired of trying to get you to learn this. Give it some effort. By the way, multiplication table is just as effective as a calculator. The difference is that you visually get to see what you're multiplying and what the answer is, or dividing in this case. Have a multiplication table in front of you. I said from day one, you can always have a multiplication table. Class, negative 24 divided by negative 8.
3. No.
Same or different signs?
Different.
So it says different signs. The answer will be,
Negative.
I can't make this hard because it's not hard. I can make it more difficult by
Giving us annoying numbers.
giving you annoying numbers.
Or adding other stuff.
But I can't make it hard because it's not hard, right? All right, box 2, here we go. Grab your pencils, box 2. Same or different signs.
Different.
Okay, Nathan, so therefore the answer will be, which one? You said both. Caden, second one?
So they're same signs, so positive.
Fifth. Caden,
So it's -3.
you talked your way into the wrong answer. Try it again.
So they're just 3.
Yes, 3. There you go. You,
Positive 3.
so when you screw it up and you get the right number, but you screw up the sign, we call it dropping a negative. And you'll hear the teacher say, hey, don't drop a negative. What they mean is you screwed up the rule of same or different signs. Okay. Usually it's when the answer is negative, you make it positive. I have never had a student that didn't understand the rule or be able to apply it. Boy, do I have kids drop negatives. You know, high school onward, myself included. If there's a mistake to be made, it's usually you forget whether it's positive or negative. And it's not because you don't understand what to do, it's because you weren't careful. He literally said in words, if I backed up the video and played it for you, he goes, it's same sign, so the answer is positive. So the answer is -3.
What?
I mean, he literally talked himself into the wrong answer, even though he said everything right until the end. How do you keep yourself from making a mistake, boy? If I had a cure for that, what I'm going to say to you is exactly the way he did, which is you try to talk yourself. A negative divided by negative is a positive. Okay? If the answer is negative, one thing I would encourage you to do, for instance, the top one, is you write an equal sign, and before you write the number, you go a positive divided by a negative is a negative. You put a negative symbol, and then you do the math. And that way the chance or likelihood of you leaving off the negative go down. Okay? But yeah, dropping negatives, I see it all the time. All right, do box 3 all by yourself. You got 15 seconds. Go. All of them go evenly for homework. Now, is that true in life? Absolutely not. But tonight for homework, there will be no decimal answers.
Will there ever be?
Yes. Yes. They're annoying at times. They're annoying at times. They can. But when you set this one up for long division, this one's easy. 15 only goes into 12. Well, 15 goes into, well, 10 times 15 will be 150, so it's got to be less than 10. There's your starting point. You would like the last number to be a 0. So what times 5 gives you a 0, Caitlin? Well, lots of numbers. But it's got to be less than 10, but pretty close to 10. Can't be a 9. Could be an 8. Could be a 6. It's one of those two right there. Half of 150 is 75, so we know it's got to be bigger than 5. So that means the only two possible answers are 6 and 8.
Wait, what about 7?
Yeah, but 7 times 5 is 35. We want a 0.
Oh, okay.
That's obviously 8.
All right, here we go. Ava, top one, the answer is? It is 12. Okay. Who's got the second one? What do you got? Okay, because 15 times 15 is 120. What's 15 times 10? 15 times 10. Well, that's way bigger than 150. It's got to be smaller than 10 then, because you got 150 times 10. Turns out it's -8.
Call that.
Don't give up the effort of doing it using long division. Okay. All right, everybody look up here now. Yeah, it's kind of a short class. The book kind of like realizes that, like, well, geez, they learned the multiplication rule. The division rule is the same rule, except it's division. I can't really make this a longer class. So what do? They add some complexity. So technically, listen please, technically that is the entirety of the class. You just learn the rule, that's it. So all they do is add on some extra things. Here's the first thing they add on. They have you solve an equation. Look at the board, please. They have you solve an equation that involves negatives and division. So here we go. Soraya, where's the variable? Left or right side? What's attached to the variable? How is -2 attached to x? By what? How do we get rid of multiplication? So what are we going to divide both sides by? Every time that I teach algebra, I don't care whether you're in 7th grade or you're a senior in high school taking pre-calc and we do algebra. What I ask her is exactly the way you solve all algebra problems. Where's the variable? What's attached to it? Get rid of things using the inverse. It never changes. That verbiage, that script that I just said, that's what should play in your mind whenever you do algebra solving equations.
Algebra.
Where's the variable? What side? What's attached? How it's attached? Do the inverse. She said divide both sides by -2, so that's what we're going to do. We use a fraction bar to show division, not division symbol. What's -2 divided by -2? Not 0. What's any number divided by itself? The red slash, we say cancel, doesn't mean 0, it means 1.
And then 1 times x would be
Would mean x. That's why that slash is there. It doesn't mean 0. 5 minus 5 is 0, agreed. But any number divided by itself, the red slash, we just say cancel the -2s. But that slash means 1. Jake, are you paying any attention?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Eyeballs will be on the board if you're paying attention. Okay.
Give me your
Negative divided by negative, Jake, is
positive.
so therefore the answer is
12. What? Wait, my good sir, are you okay? For some, I just did multiplication.
just say the answer.
I'm sorry.
Say the answer.
That's the answer. 3.
The answer is not 3, but x equals 3 because it's an algebra problem with solving an equation. Remember, all solving equations, it's always of the form of variable equals a number. Now, it could be number equals a variable as well, too. Let's see that again. Let's see that again. Alora, where's the variable? Left or right? Okay, what's attached to it? How's -3 attached to x? How do we get rid of multiplication? So what are we going to divide both sides by? Because we're trying to get rid of the -3. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other side. What's anything divided by itself? What? Not 0. 5 minus 5 is 0. But any number, 4 divided by 4 is not 0. It's the red slash there that, yes, we say cancel. Doesn't mean 0. It means 1. 1 times x is, Connor, stop. 1 times x is, what's 1 times anything? Okay, so what's 1 times x? What? Yes, you do. X is x. So 1 times x is got to be x. On the right side, we get no. So therefore, the final answer is all right. Questions?
Isn't it supposed to be answered negative?
All right. Do box 4, please. -x is not a final answer. I would have to do one more step if I got -x is equal to the number. You'll see that next year. Next year. There's 2 options. Actually, there's 3 options.
This was deep.
Should be. It's not that complicated. We've done this before, just not with negatives.
You're like, you know what? We're bored. We're just gonna give this Just to the heck of it. No.
Jake, you got the answer? Don't give it to me though. You got the answer? Don't look at the board, look at your paper. John, you got the answer?
Yep.
Danny, you got an answer? Boy, that was a vicious look.
No.
I heard the no,
I know, I just didn't look up.
but the look that you just gave me was hurtful. All right, Danny, let's do it together. Where's the variable, left or right side? Okay, what's attached to it? How is it attached? Add, subtract, multiply, divide. How is it attached? How do we get rid of it? Both sides, what are we going to do to both sides? Okay, by what number are we trying to get rid of? What's keeping x from being by itself? 5 or negative 5? 5 or negative 5? Negative 5. So that's what we're going to divide both sides by, negative 5. On the left side, Nathan, what happens? On the left side, what happens?
Oh. That cancels out into 1.
Did you hear what he said?
Yes.
Right? He said those numbers cancel out. That means it turns into 1. Right? 1 times x is x. And on the right side, Nathan? Turns into 11. So x equals 11. Yes, everybody?
Yes.
All right. Box 5, and then we'll move on. You want to answer a question? Do you need something?
I have a question.
Yes.
So if multiplying and dividing with adding and subtracting decimals is so easy, why, like, do they not teach it at a younger grade?
So usually what happens, now we're going to talk in generalities. So kindergarten through 2nd grade is all about adding, subtracting. Okay. And then in 3rd grade, right, now that we can proficiently, I mean, some kids are proficient at adding, subtracting by kindergarten, not many, right? But most kids take to about 2nd grade. Then all of a sudden, starting 3rd grade, now all of a sudden we can introduce this thing called fractions. And then fractions lead to decimals. And then therefore we don't see add, subtract, multiply, and divide fractions until 4th grade and higher, or decimals till 4th grade. Why? Well, like I said, we have to wait till everybody, the entire group can handle the fact that they can add and subtract competently. That happens K through 2. The 3rd grade, then all of a sudden we can introduce this thing called fractions. But then that's also where we introduce multiplication and division. And why is that important? Because you can't get a decimal, right, until you can do division. And division isn't introduced until 3rd grade, right? I mean, a fraction is a decimal. Decimal is a fraction. We learned that. 1/2 is 0.5. 0.5 is 1/2.
Yes.
Right?
Bruh.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Aiden, where's the variable? Left or right side?
Left side,
What's attached to it?
7.
How is it attached?
Multiplication.
How do we get rid of multiplication?
Division.
What do we divide both sides by?
7.
Okay. What happens on the left side?
7 cancels out, so x is by itself. And then you do 7 divided by
Other way around,
56 divided, negative 56 divided by 7.
which is? He is counting by 7s on his hand right now.
I have this one equation stored in my head. I always hated this equation when I was a kid.
That was the one that caused me problems too.
7
What do you got?
was always the one that killed me.
Exactly what you were doing. Just do it. Complete it. When you get better at that is to do these over and over and over again for the numbers that you have problems on.
8?
Okay. Positive or negative?
Negative.
7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56. Okay. Yes.
Just a quick comment. This 7 times 8 equals 56 is ingrained in my head because it was the most problems. I had problems with
I had
when
problems
doing
with this too.
multiplication.
All right, the most complicated ones are going to involve everything. For those of you that are already doing your homework, you can see it involves add, subtract, multiply, and divide, all in multiple steps. PEMDAS is your friend. We must do what PEMDAS says. All right, Aiden, what are we gonna do first? The division or the parentheses?
Parentheses.
Okay. Okay, let's do parentheses. Negative 24 divided by negative 2. David, what's a negative divided by a negative? It is positive, same signs. So all we got to do now is 24 divided by 2. He said the answer is positive, therefore the answer is? The answer is? David just told us that a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Why do you think the answer is negative?
Oh, no, I was trying to answer the entire problem.
Oh, we're not there yet.
Okay, well, if we're there, then the answer's positive.
Okay, so what's 24 divided by 2?
Oh, 36, 12, it's 12.
Okay. I bring down the number that I haven't messed with, the divided by 4, and I continue. Does everyone see what I did? Okay. As they get more complicated, sometimes you might want to scratch through what you just did. Maybe not on this one. You scratch through what you just did. Some teachers have you write arrows to point out what that equals. I can see that. If that's helpful for you, you can do that. Okay. When you get to longer calculations, I use that a lot. These ones aren't that complicated. What is 12 divided by 4? Is this like the class that can't do division?
Three.
Division.
All right.
We're division deficient.
Sorry,
There are
took
some
me a while to
division
get it.
deficient people in this class. All right, one more. Here we go. One more. Caden, what are we gonna do first? Which one? Left side or right side? So look at the left. Is the answer gonna be positive or negative? It's gonna be negative. Negative 4 times 20.
80. Negative 80.
Okay. The second set of parentheses.
It will be positive.
Positive what?
I was saying.
I know. Positive what?
10.
Okay. I take his two answers. He said negative 80 for the first set of parentheses, 10 for the second. Put a division symbol between. I think you can do that one. Nice friendly numbers there. The answer is?
Negative 8.
Questions? All right, box 6, all by yourself. Box 6, and then we got one box left and we're done. Yeah. Is anybody lost? Anybody needs help?
Wait, there's another box in the back though.
I just literally said that.
Oh, you said one more box after this. Sorry, I have ear deficiency.
Yeah, no, he does.
I'm mute. I can't talk. Sorry about that.
EDD. You're deficient.
If only.
If only.
That you're deficient.
Anybody need help getting started here?
No.
All right, Jake, talk us through it. Go.
Okay, so you have to always do parentheses first.
Keep talking.
All right, so it's 20 divided by negative 5. That would be negative 4? No, yeah, negative 4. Divided by 4 would be 2, right?
This 4 divided by 4 is 2.
No, it's 1. That's right, 1.
So final answer?
1.
Don't look at me, look at the board.
One.
What?
1.
Negative 1.
1.
Same or different signs?
Same.
Where do you see same signs?
Wait, no, not same. Different.
You good?
I can't focus right now.
Jake, what does it mean same or different signs? Literally, where do your eyeballs go for that question?
The negative.
Yeah, but where on the paper would your eyeball go to determine if it was same or different signs?
Good question.
So when I ask you same or different signs, what am I literally asking you to look at?
Are they the same or are they?
What does that mean?
Is one negative and one positive?
You tell me on this one.
Focus.
Yes, you can. You got this. We're just about there. So you said the question of same or different signs means look at the numbers and tell me the signs. Now look at the numbers and tell me the signs.
Negative and positive.
Is that same or different?
Different.
Therefore, the answer is
No.
Bruh, love it.
I'm so confused.
listen to the words that you're using. They are the right words. So let's start this again. What does same or different mean? Yeah, but what does it mean?
Positive and negative.
Okay, now look at the numbers. Are they same or different?
They're different.
Why are they different?
Because one's negative and one's
Which
positive.
one is negative?
The first one.
And the second one is?
Positive.
So what's the final answer?
You're not helping.
You just said everything but the final answer. And everything you said was right, by the way. Except for the final answer. But you literally said everything right, Jake. You said, hey, pull the mask down. You said, the signs are different. And I said, well, how do you know? And you go, well, the first one's negative and the second one's positive. It says if the signs are different, Jake, look, pull down the mask. I know, but I can't see you. If the signs are different, the answer is?
The same.
Read. This is why I know. So therefore, the final answer is?
Negative. What? Or 4? I'm not sure.
Why did you think the answer would be 4?
I'm not sure.
You probably didn't do this like
How did
Jake.
he get 11?
He didn't say 11. He said negative 4.
Like,
All right, everybody flip your paper over. Let's do the last one. Flip your paper over. Do the last one. Do the last one. Caden, you already done the last one?
Yeah.
All right. Lauren, calculated a check, not to do. Is everybody good? All right, Grace, talk us through. Go.
So you have to so negative 4 times negative 4 is 16. And then the other thing,
Hush.
and then the other thing is negative 2 times 2, which is negative 4. And then you divide by
Jake, is the answer going to be positive or negative on this one?
Negative.
Why?
Because one of the numbers is negative.
And the other one is?
Positive,
So different signs. Keep going, Grace.
which is negative.
Very good.
Yeah.
Questions on anything we did? Now, homework might have one addition subtraction problem in there. Remember, these are not the rules for addition subtraction.
They kind of are.
The rule? No, they're not.
Well, if you just take the opposite. Well,
Be careful. When you are adding and the signs are the same, what do you actually do? These are the rules for adding
if you're
subtraction.
adding, well, you
You
add them together.
add.
And
When
then-
they are different, what do you do? So not the same.
But I mean, technically, if you put a
Yeah, but if the signs are different, you might get positive, you might get negative. You could have either one. When the signs are different, you only ever get negative for multiplication and division. But for adding, subtracting different signs, sometimes you get positive, sometimes you get negative.
well, good thing I remember that.
Be careful when you mix up or when you have a mixture of adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing.
Well, I mean,
All right, we got 10 minutes left class. Get your books out, get started on your homework. 10 minutes left. 10 minutes left.
I don't have my.
We get out of here in 5 minutes, sorry.
Here's the silver.
Thank you.
What I was gonna say was, if you just put a
So, I did all the homework on this.
Where is it? Your dog has it?
I guess so.
Do you have a dog?
This is.
Do you have a dog?
Have a
What
dog.
dog do you have?
The dog dead.
It was
Oh.
Do they like each other?
and
Do they growl at each other?
try to.
Well, then I would say they don't like each other. All right. Online learners, that's all we got for today. We will see you